Spaces.
Is that better, you guys?
I forgot to plug it in. It was my fault.
It's your fault.
Forgot to hit the power button. Whoops.
Oh, they said hi, Zach. He's
We're
in the
here.
background. We're
Oh, yeah,
here.
yeah,
We
okay,
got our
yeah.
awesome audio tech.
So
Okay.
we're here with Gently Healing and Gently Healing Spaces, and I'm Aaron here as a guest on her awesome show, and we are super excited to engage with you now that you can hear us.
Yes.
Yay!
Now that you can hear us, we have sounds. Yay! I'm so happy. We have been spending time, Zach and Aaron especially, putting up even more audio equipment. Yeah, we've got, the setup is just so balanced. It's so beautiful, you guys, and I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to be able to use it as well and be with all of you guys. So I want to say hi to Jacob and hi to Willow and hi to Sammy and yeah.
Hi, Zach. Zach's on there.
And then Layla. Hi, beautiful fam. I'm on my way to you guys now.
Yay.
Yay. Let's put that up. Hi, beautiful fam. On my way now. Aaron just saw your missed call, so won't be calling you back since you're on the show. Love you all. Whoops.
We're talking right now. Can you still go to the grocery store? We need some burger supplies, actually, is what I was calling about. We'll talk about it later.
We were calling about trying to get a few supplies on your way here, but we can talk about that later. Better, Willow saying.
Could be a bit. Zach's on it.
And hello, Lena.
Zach's tweaking dials while we're chatting.
Yeah, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I wanted to bring Aaron on the show today because a lot of the experiences that we share is about plant medicine, animal medicines, and
frog poisons,
the combo that is available. Oh, and Jasmine just came in. Hi, Jasmine. For a minute, I thought it was in a different dimension or something because I didn't see your show on the channel feed.
We were inside and outside of time at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Time does not exist.
Awesome.
It's not real. Hi, Kevin. Welcome. I'm
What
so
up, Kev?
glad you're here. We were just a little bit behind because we were getting everything set up for.
Kev, we got some new monitors, speakers, and some other shit.
Oh my gosh, so cool! It's like Christmas at our house right now, but it's not Christmas. It's like our own celebration every day. Yay! Hello, Jasmine and Kevin. Yes. So what we were saying was we wanted to be able to share like our experiences as we're coming together as a family and being able to kind of just let you guys know all of that and how that went and how that's going and different options that are there. And I like to always speak to the fact that we are the psychedelic. This medicine already does exist inside of us, but there is a lot of tools that we have at our fingertips that we can use with helping us navigate our shadows, great purgative medicines. And today, Aaron was able to do some purgative medicine, which is the combo. I've done combo several times myself and had quite the experiences with it. I would be interested in anyone in chat if you've ever done combo. It is frog poison. What's really rad about combo is the frog that is used from the Amazon, again, is super, super duper poisonous. And what has happened with it over the time is it's evolved itself to have nothing that preys upon it. So nothing wants to kill this frog because it would kill them. So that, in effect, has evolved the frog to be without fear. And I believe it's one of the only creatures on the earth that does not have fear, which don't cruelly quote me on that, but
it's
one of them and one that we can utilize as we imbibe it into our body or take it in. And imbibing, we don't swallow. It's actually a process of burning it on the skin and putting the poison on it, and then things happen. So I would love, Aaron, for you to talk about your experience and how that was for you and the whole journey to it.
So Zach gave me a similar story going in, but then he told me another story right before we started. Then he burned this huge chunk of hole out of my skin. It was way more intense than I thought it was going to be. It was huge, like the size of a quarter. And then he just slathered poison in there. He said, this is how it works. This is how it goes. This is the professional way to do it. No, just kidding. There are small holes, and it was totally what they said. What they said it was about.
Teeny.
They're like, I don't know, they're itty bitty. Can you see that?
Itty bitty.
Where's that? Yeah, like itty bitty.
Yeah.
They're small, but they're actually.
Yeah, you could show him.
Here.
Here.
Yeah,
You can just see the little marks.
They're smaller now. We'll have a picture. Maybe we'll put it in the group or something.
It's a little bit bigger than, I would say, like an incense stick. Let's say it's like 2.5 sizes of an incense, like if you were to put together, and then you burn that end.
Okay, so I guess for me, just the nuances for me. So I was thinking burning it in, like you're burning a hole into the skin, but it's not really. You're like using you're scraping off a layer of the dermis to actually get the top layer of skin off and expose to the muscle tissue or something, or just the next layer underneath, and then you put the frog poison just over it. So you don't like smear it or press it in, and then it just seeps in. It feels actually the sensation in the arm feels kind of like an MMR shot or something. If anybody remembers that from back in the day, like it burned like when you get stabbed into it, just burns through your arm. So it's like that from the inside. And then drank a gallon. I drank like half a gallon of water earlier this morning. Then drank like a gallon of water right before. And so when Zach did it, so I was just breathing through it and trying to tune into it and whatever. I don't know, 5-10 minutes afterwards, then I felt it like go to my stomach and say get out or something. I don't know. And like that's when. And it's one thing to throw up, like you're used to knowing how to throw up. But it's another thing when your stomach's full of a gallon of water. Zach got out of the way just in time. I was like, all right, you got to move, Zach. And then like half of it was on the back of the toilet because it just projectiled out like a gallon or half gallon of water. And then sitting there in like cold sweats and fevers, and I don't know. It wasn't that long. It wasn't like deliriously feverful. It's just you're sweating like crazy and you're hot and just that really uncomfortable, unpleasant feeling. But then I don't know. That kind of passed. And then I was talking to Zach about like ways to do it or recommended ways. And since we did it on the triple heater meridian on my left side, to do it on the right side to balance it out and just balance the energy and the cleanse. And so I decided to do that while it still felt like shit. It's like, okay, let's make it hurt again before I have any payoff. Sure, let's do that. And it actually, as we did the next one, it was starting to, that clearing feeling, or feeling really clear was starting to come on. And then the second one, I didn't vomit or anything. It was just, it's like the body was already adapted to the poison in there. And so instead of freaking out, it's able to realize it doesn't need to vomit water, I guess, or something. So, but I ended up taking a nap afterwards, and I feel a lot more refreshed, definitely a lot more clear. And it's cool. And just the dynamic of it, knowing the tradition and knowing, you know, where it comes from. Zach was talking about just the dynamic of how to find these frogs and how difficult it is. And, yeah, it's just really cool. A lot of that will come more, I think, in hindsight. Just I'm able to process it and compare a difference before and after. But while I was going through that, you guys were purging in here too, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't actually purge, but I definitely felt the energy of it coming on. I knew the moment it happened, I felt the nausea come. And so I just not only balanced your space, but I was balancing my space as well, because to be affected by other people's energies, it's so important that even if it's outside of you, it is now inside of you, and that there was something that my body was trying to tell me. So I just worked on rooting and breathing and really just bringing that down and centering with self. And right at the moment I was pretty much done with that process is when Kala came, and she was really pretty choked up and not feeling well, like very, like she was going to throw up. I don't remember if she actually threw up, not with me, but by the point she came, she's like, please help, you know? And so I got her on the couch and I started just working the energies and getting that, you know, to process. And so it was just a really rad experience on just the fact that we're so entangled, and that even though we're not imbibing the medicine or taking it in, it's still working within our energetic space. And this is why I've kept this comment up, Jasmine, because you say, funny how the frogs are fearless, yet I know quite a bit of humans who fear frogs. And I find that, like, also with people that fear snakes, is the fearing of that medicine, fear of the change, or fear, like we have such a society that's so trapped with fear and worry, and that's what is like keeping it sick. And so when you're like seeing the frog and this medicine is coming to you, you can have a bit of jitters. It like affects your body in a different way, and a lot of people don't take that time to figure out what that actually is. And so it's very fascinating when people fear certain things. Like, I used to fear moths before the Amazon jungle. I know, it's so weird. Like, I loved all critters.
What about them was scary to you?
Well, they would,
different than other insects?
They would just always fly at my face, like constantly, like just dart at my face, and they were delivering a message, and I just wasn't listening. And then I went into the Amazon, and there's way worse things than, like, you know,
moths.
moths.
Like 20 foot, like 20-inch moths and shit.
Yeah, and like I think it really was like the sweaters of mosquitoes that I wore, just this magnitude of that. That just like in that process of the mosquitoes, like it was nothing. Like moths were nothing at that point.
Relative.
And so I had to battle like different kinds of things, and once I transcended it, the fears were just totally gone, and I was like, oh, I get it. And then also the curandero that was there working with me and talking about the importance of me like getting into animal medicine and animas and just these different aspects that really were coming clear to me. It just really changed it. And then I was so grateful for the moths that had been coming to my life for so long and bopping me in the head, It's so easy to miss that. So she was like, also last night a frog kept trying to come in my back door. And this is, again, Jasmine, I would love a message from you that would then say, hey, look at that synchronicity again. It's like we get so many of those between you and I, and it's the entanglement. The medicine was coming to you as well. And just really sitting in that meditation to really just hear what it's coming to say. And Aaron really got to experience that.
A little bit.
And it goes farther. Like this is that first part where your skin is like glowing in a different way. Yeah. Nice. And but it heightens your senses. It really does, where you can just sense the wind differently on your skin, on just like the energies that are around. I would say it's very much earthy is what my experience was to the heightened of my senses. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty awesome show on Netflix called White Lines that experience is shown.
The combo?
Is that the combo?
So that'd be interesting.
The animal medicine is definitely strong. Oh yeah, Jasmine. Like, I totally agree. It's been strong for Jasmine too. Like, animal medicine has been coming to her for a bit. When I first talked to her, she had the same books I did, and
cool.
On animal medicine, and it's a cool connect.
Yeah.
It really is a pretty awesome thing to explore. It's also, a very like. When you take that animal in, it's honoring that spirit within your vessel. It's not just like it's that. Both sides that come with it. So so with the animals you're playing with, I know a lot of people end up trying to go for the wolf. They'll be really like, ooh, wolf medicine, I want that. But the wolf is a very, very powerful being, and if you're not honoring what the true wolf is within your vessel and enacting it and allowing it to have that freedom, it can be not good things that come into your life. So I say it as much of a warning. So, yeah.
Do you think now that I've done combo, I'd be able to stand on lily pads and I won't sink?
Oh, gosh. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
It's
like
process
you're
to becoming
Jesus.
space
You're
Jesus.
Space Jesus. This is your process.
If I got to use frogs as a stepping stone, then that's what I got to do.
Yeah. Have you ever attempted to walk on water?
Totally.
Like, what was that experience like?
Nothing worth amazing and miraculous here. So there's a lot to it on that side notes tangent. So there's some cool videos of people running really fast from the shore onto the water and staying on top of the water for a while because of surface tension with motion over time, or I don't know, all that, like all those different nuances of figuring out not how to do a miracle and change the laws of gravity or the laws of the universe, but find a way to use them in such a way as that you seem to like airplanes alone, right? So they're not overcoming gravity, but they're using, force plus acceleration or whatever, and the shapes of the wings to actually create lift, which overcomes gravity. So I think there's ways, of neural mind or quantumly or whatever, you can get the molecules of your feet to match the water and actually walk, but there's probably other ways to combine that. I don't know. So it's a lot of more of thought process. Now, I've tried at times, but I haven't had any semi standing on the water for half a second or any of that stuff yet, but I definitely think about it a lot. It's a real thing.
Yeah, I know. I have actually had that experience where I wish I would have taken this step to see what would happen. Mm-hmm. But I remember I was standing in front of this river and I was just sinking my heart with the sun, and I just stood there and I just started to imagine the ability to be to walk on water, the atoms and molecules of the difference, because we're in a fluid, but we're also trying to walk on a different density of a fluid.
Yeah, totally.
And so I was just trying to gather that information, and right at the moment, I began to like feel like I was going to walk on water and just take that step, my dog behind me started barking massively, rah, 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 and plop went this ball in the water. And I was like, where did that come from? And how did that just like get into the water to plop that way? So I have no idea what happened with that ball. If maybe it was float, like I don't know what happened. But anyway, there was this time that I nearly did it, but
well, it's funny you said, excuse me, you said that you wish you took a step.
Yeah.
Taking plenty of steps and falling through the water.
Yeah.
Part of the problem with taking a step is that if you're not prepared for failure in a sense, then it can be extra damaging because you're like, oh my gosh, it didn't work, and they don't want to try again, as opposed to like, it's not that I expect it to not work, but I understand my entire life when I step on water, I go through the water. Therefore, I'm changing my beliefs. Therefore, if the actions don't line up with my beliefs, I don't change my beliefs. I'm still maintaining that I will eventually walk on water. But then so there's a saying that I really like, something to the effect of you can't allow your experiences to dictate your expectations. Is that what it is? Something to that effect. But the point is, you're not allowing, just because this has happened 100 times before, if you can change your belief system or paradigm about it, it may be totally different this time. Yeah. And so you just, not allowing our life to be dictated by our experiences.
That was the biggest thing that when I was in that moment, it was that self-doubt because of the belief system that was in me. And instead of overcoming it, I took the distraction of that ball, like falling into the water that way.
Now the question is, was it the belief system that just said, well, I can't do that, or is a belief system that says if I try and fail, then I'm bad or something? Because they're both reasons to not try.
Yeah, it was probably both. As I was
probably
just
for
like,
me too. Yeah, for everybody in some way.
Yeah, it was probably both, and I just have never let that experience go because a lot of me just wants to figure out how we walk on water. But I think there's a lot of aspects to it. I've had conversations with Zach, and he's like broken it down like to break that barrier. But really, I think if your belief is so strong that you absolutely could walk on water. I really felt that.
Well, I think like it's not, I mean, it's the terminology's hard, right? For me, when I think my belief is so strong, it's like if I tried hard enough, like I changed my belief to like shit my pants or walk on water. Like, try hard enough. But like little changes over time, eventually you just do it. And it's not weird. Because you really have changed your belief system about it. So it's not wonderment or getting caught in wonder. It's just like, oh yeah, it just is.
It just
finally
is.
It's like it's exciting because it finally happened, right? But I've been believing for this to happen forever.
Yeah. And I mean, if this is, let's say, simulation or whatever, I mean, we absolutely have the ability to do this. We just have to get outside of all of the conditioning of what we've been taught.
Well, the biggest thing, like, so if most of our programming is subconscious, or 95% of shit we don't even think about. Yeah. So you try to add consciously a new thought problem. I can walk on water. I can walk on water. Whatever, I walk on water. That's only 5% of your conscious mind. Even then, you're not doing that 24 hours a day. So that's like 0.01% of your conscious mind now trying to add a new belief system that may be thoroughly ingrained in the foundation of 95% of who you are. That's why it takes repetition over time. Or what are the three things? It's like to accept new experiences, a new reality instantly is either trauma or in a moment of extreme shock to the nervous system, you can take in new data. Yeah. Repetition over time. What's the other one? Illumination, like those moments just on your own, meditation or whatever, like things just click. So your nervous system will change in an instant because you were able to find some way to perceive it that shifted everything in a moment as opposed to having to like beat it out over time. Sure.
Wow. So cool. So yeah, you'll be able to be on a lily pad in no time.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, thanks. Cool. For confirmation. Yeah. I wanted to say about the community dynamic too. So with you guys in here feeling what I was going through, and so like it's interesting because there's like the communal dynamic of being able to help each other transmute shit. Right? It's not our shit at all. You're just helping someone else. But then also being in a community where there is entanglement and mutual respect and honor and working together, whatever. So when somebody's going through something, then it may stimulate, that same toxin inside of us. But since someone else is purging it, like that's awesome that I can also purge it, even though I didn't actually have to get burned. Yeah. So I don't know. So seeing it as a benefit of sharing energy in a group setting and not being like, don't affect me with your energy. Like using those as opportunities to find a deeper way to heal inside of us, just because it happened and we're in a group where it happened. Totally.
It's so awesome because we are all connected. If the universe had a cell phone, it would be texting me animal memes that synchronized with your shows.
Dude, no doubt. Right on.
It's totally true, Jasmine. And it really is happening. It does. It may not be like the cell phone that you're imagining that we're using now, but that is what is. That's the bandwidth.
Totally.
That's literally the bandwidth that we're connected with. And the phone uses bandwidth. We use bandwidth. All of that. I see crows and dragonflies a lot. Yeah, Brittany, those are very, very powerful medicines. If you even take dragon and flies and break that down, there's a lot to it. Crows, yeah, we could have a whole episode on it. You got the magic and the trickster of the crows, the void because of the blackness of the crow. It's really like when I navigate animal medicine is I try and sit with it first before I do any kind of research and see what I can intuitively take in from what they're telling us. It's like the earwigs the other night. You're like, what do the earwigs mean?
Change.
And
Pinch
and I was
change.
like, massive change. Like I know change so far, but I'm still breaking it down. And really, then once I go and look it up, it's like, yes, massive change in and out is the message of the earwig. And I was like, oh, it's so interesting. But you know, the messages will come before, and if you need deeper confirmation, you could go and look it up. I think looking it up helps you learn more on how to kind of like hear the messages and also get a wealth of knowledge about animals. Like I like not just to read about the animal medicine, but I like to read about the animal. What is it that they can do? Like swallows fly on frequencies. That is really incredible. Woodpeckers are vibration and also like the frequencies. And so I mean,
I was saying about the Animorph books that I grew up with as a kid, the teenage book series or fiction series. So I'm a big guy and I keep twisting and like bumping the table and bouncing anywhere. But that was the author did a really good job. So the kids in the books, they were given this power to turn into the DNA of anything they touch, or they absorb the DNA from anything they touch, and they can become it. But the author did a really good job showing like merging their consciousness with the animal instincts and consciousness and all the animal special abilities, or just that whole dynamic. You're inside the animal's head, but also as a human, assessing the instincts as they're coming in and trying to correlate all that or find coherence with all of it.
Oh yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, it's like 60-some books, bunch of options. I literally have them in a big box I just found under my house when we moved a while back. They've got the whole series of books. They're really good.
Do you have a lot of books, Aaron?
I have like thousands of books.
Thousands of books.
I would love someday to have one of those fancy ass libraries, right, with one of the ladders that swings around or some shit.
Yeah, I used to have that same kind of dream. Like I would totally relate to Belle, you know, like when she was in like Beauty and the Beast. Yeah,
I want one of those big like 4-foot globes too.
Sure, yeah, I totally. I wanted the globe too. I would say when I sold everything that my books were really, really hard to let go of.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah, like that was like there was certain things that were just like
and it's like even if you have them in PDF form, it's just not the same. You know, like textured books is just totally different.
Yeah, there was this attachment that I had to learn to let go of without, or the smell of books.
Nope,
and
I let go of my book attachment when I die.
When you die, you're gonna have it forever. That's awesome. I totally get that. That is cool. So let's see. Jasmine said, I just used frog medicine on my son. There's a Spanish rhyme that goes sana, 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 colita de rana.
Cool.
I'm sorry for my pronunciations, but
right.
Which in English means heal, heal. Uh-oh. I needed to.
Heal, 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 Jen's throat and frog's butt.
Yeah. Yeah, still getting stuff up with my own chakras.
He hit his knees and requested that. Oh, that's cool. Heal, heal, frog's butt. Heal, 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 frog's butt. Awesome.
Heal frog's
That
butt.
is a literal translation. That is how they've said it for thousands of years. Heal, 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 frog's butt.
Why do they say butt?
Like, I mean, is that where their venom comes from?
Yeah. Like,
maybe they're really attracted to the butt while they're scraping the venom. Like, oh, look at that frog's butt.
Oh, look at that. I do that with my dogs. You know, I'm scratching their butt. I'm like, what a cute little butt. I don't know, but that is adorable.
That's the official name.
Yeah.
Became like row, row, row your boat. But heal, 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 frog's butt.
Yeah.
Gently as you scrape it off.
Gently as you
Poison
scrape it
you
off.
And vomit everywhere, but you feel better when you're done.
Oh, yay. I love that. That was so creative. I love it.
Thanks.
That flow. I can't. Oh, man. That is
I may not be able to
awesome.
rap, but I can come up pretty good lullabies on the spot.
Yeah, dude. That is a talent, Aaron.
All right.
What? Oh, my gosh. That's awesome. I'm a frog, but yeah, totally. Brittany, definitely get an animal medicine book if it interests you. Knowing what each animal represents is so awesome and helpful to understand ourselves, really. Yeah, I totally agree. On one of my episodes, I don't have my book handy right now. Jasmine and I have the same book. I can share that later or send you a message on what book I would recommend with it.
Or you can share it in the show later.
Or later. Oh, yeah. Like if you're going to be on Aaron's show later.
For this one. So I'm gonna go work on stuff with Zach in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You could always share the show too.
I could totally do that for you. I highly recommend it. And then we have Jasmine. Will you PM on Facebook with us? Oh, yeah. See? Cool. Jasmine, you got it. Yay. All right. Yes, I think I requested you earlier. I accepted. Woo!
Yay.
Look at the friends.
We're becoming friends.
Yeah, I think it's just cute to say Kalita.
That is cool.
That
Kalita. Is Kalita frog
Kalita.
or is Kalita butt? Which one's
Wait,
Kalita?
it was. Right.
Sana, sana, sana. So heel, Kalita de Rana. So Rana's either frog or Rana's butt.
Yeah, which one is Kalita? Is it
What's
frog or
Kalita?
butt? Kalita. I wonder.
We'll find out.
Hmm.
Aaron in the house.
Aaron, yeah.
That was me. That's one of our episodes that got pulled, by the way. That one where we were watching those Pee and Keel and those different funny videos. But I get you. We were in that same inside joke together.
Yeah. Oh, it is butt. LOL. Okay.
Rana's
Kolita
frog.
is butt.
Kolita.
Kolita and
It's our
Rana
butt.
is frog. Oh, Zach brought it to
There
us.
you
Look at
go.
this. So, it is boop.
There you yeah.
Looks like this.
Oh, shut up. I think I have the exact same one. I know that's what
See,
you're talking
it's
about.
meant to be.
I think I have the exact same one.
Can you see?
I'm over here.
Boop.
There you go. Yep.
And
Yep. Yeah,
there's-
Jamie Sands. Yep. I have the same
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, I can write that in the comments if you want.
Let's bump it.
No, it's not typing in there. I got to do this. Yeah. So, Jamie Sams is the author, and David. I'm trying to type quietly, so I go slower. And Zach's keyboard has like.
The soft keys on it, the
Yeah.
cover. Actually, the keyboard should be quieter now in general because before the mic was like down here.
Oh,
So
so
it shouldn't be too big of a deal.
that should be there.
Hmm?
Let's see. Let's just even see what the frog, if frog is in the book actually. Because some of the animals aren't there, but they're like certain things. Links.
Yeah.
Because that would be cool to hear the poem. Frog, right there. 189.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
17, 18, which is 9. So that's a good number.
It is. It is.
Frog is also correlated to 9 now because of its location in this book.
Awesome. So the little poems in here, I really, really love that aspect. And it said, sing, frog, sing, call the rains, quench the dryness, cleanse the earth, then fill me up again. Yeah, that is,
Come, frog, fill me with poison, cleanse me out, then fill me up again.
yeah, that's like literally you cleansed everything out of you. You purged it all. Dude, that is really, really rad.
And
Yeah.
the rain and the earth. I mean, you are the earth. Your cells are of the earth. So
Yeah.
you are the vessel of the earth also. So when
Yeah.
you heal yourself, you heal the earth.
Yeah, that's right. It's very, very, like you have the earth and you have the water. You have even the lilies, which
Mhm.
is tons of, yeah, there's lots of branches off that you could do with that. I'm going down rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
But, staying just solid to the frog itself. Gosh, that's so cool. Oh, my goodness.
Speaking of rabbit holes, tonight on the show, I think Frank might come on too, and I think we're going to try to dissect and try to figure out what the hell salvia is based on our experiences, because I don't think any of us have kind of figured that out. So that'll be tonight if you're interested. Salvia.
Nice. Salvia. That's what you want to talk about. Oh, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
Have you ever sank 20 feet back into the couch that you're sitting on and you think it's totally normal that you just have to crawl through the pants hallway to get back up to the couch to be with everybody? That might be a salvia experience, because that was mine.
Oh, man. Yeah, seriously. Salvia is quite an amazing medicine as well. I don't know if any of you have done salvia or tried salvia.
Just once.
Just once. It's the diviner's sage. So we were talking about sage before, and this is like really the highest form of taking sage in. And it has very interesting messages that it has to share, and it is an interesting journey to go on it, because it is a psychedelic journey, and getting pulled out of your body can be very interesting,
sucked back
or
into it,
sucked
into the
back
couch.
into
I
it.
don't know.
But it would be pants all way. Sorry,
it's
this
true.
is Zach. I jumped down here. Pants all way is the best.
Pants always is the best. I swear it all made sense when I was in it. It's trying to speak English afterwards, it all fell apart, but I swear it made sense.
Yeah, no, it was.
It was totally sensical physics, I promise.
Oh, I would be interested, Brittany. Have you ever tried? Was it the dry leaf that you were smoking, or was it the extract? Again, I tend to go for the dry leaf and not the extract, but it is hard to get like off with the dry leaf. You have to really like be committed and really get a lot of that in you.
Or you just got partners with you that keep filling up the bowl.
Yeah.
And then Zach fucker. Zach knew it. Zach knew that I was in this weird place of missing time, and so he asked me the same question after the 5th bowl that he asked me on the 1st bowl, and I was very confused for a long time whether I'd actually hit it at all. Because right, like Brittany was saying, it doesn't work on me, and Zach was talking about other times he was trying to prove that it doesn't work, so he kept hitting just the dry leaf over and over and going into these time loops where it definitely was working, but he's like, he didn't think it was working until... Yeah, this realization or something. Okay, well, Zach says, so the pants, because Brittany asked what's pants hallway.
When your pants turn into a tunnel with a
conveyor
belt on it and it moves you back in reality.
It's true. And then, but the walls were like the patterns of my pajama pants.
Oh.
And they had smiling faces on them. And it made sense. I swear it made sense, man. Each one was like a chink, like a stairway or conveyor belt. Like I knew I needed to get back to the group, so I just needed to go up this way, back up my pants hallway.
Yeah.
And back into the group.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. It was weird, though. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
It's a very weird experience, that's for sure.
It's weird to wrap my brain around it, especially, well, in the moment, it makes perfect sense. It's like coming back, and then even afterwards, I'm like, no, I know that made sense. Where the fuck was that thought process? It did make sense.
Yeah. 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 Like, I've had many experiences with salvia. Each one is very unique. None of them have been the same. However, I would say what's very interesting is that everyone that, even outside of our own ceremonies, not everyone, I can't say that because you didn't have this experience, but many, many, many people come back reporting that they saw Zach on a school bus. There's consistencies that I have seen in other people's psychedelic trips, though mine were unique. I've never seen Zach on a school bus while I was in there, but even I think Zach had a trip where he was also on a bus.
Zach, maybe that's what it was. It wasn't a pants hallway. It was an internally decorated pants school bus.
Yeah.
that I had to come back to the front of the bus to come hang out with everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it was. It was the hallway of the bus, or the aisle of the bus. I mean, yeah. No, it's pretty funny. But yeah, Brittany, when I first started kind of using salvia, for example, I found that I could pull myself out of the psychedelic trip, that there was something that I could do with my mind, that I could control it in some way until I made the choice to just let go. But with the dried leaf, you just really have to hold that smoke in. You have to be willing to let yourself go and to get out of your own way, really get out of your own way. And then the experiences will come. Answers to your own symbol sets will be included in there. I've had things where I saw myself in four different dimensions in the very room that I was sitting, when I was in the chair, when I was on the table, when I was standing at the door, and when I was looking out this window that had been covered, but it wasn't covered in this space, so I could see outside of the window. I could see every perspective that I was having, and I could also see the highest version, the happiest version of myself in that space. And at the time that I was doing that was at the time that I was going through all of those seizures. And so seeing the highest version of myself, I wanted to be her, that happy and free person. And I felt like I would be able to just jump into that other version of myself and choose that life, literally not ever come back to this dimension. But I honored that highest version of myself, and I knew that I wanted to receive that in this dimension for myself here, as I had accomplished in another dimension. And so it was just all of these different amazing, incredible experiences with that. That one didn't feel so psychedelic. It was more like I was sitting there and literally seeing reality of just me here, and all the visions of how I looked out that way.
That reminds me of it's not related to psychedelics, but I think it became popular on the internet a little while ago. But it was like a 2-cup quantum jump. You ever see that thing where you write affirmations on each cup, one's the present and one's the other reality, the parallel reality, right? And just all those affirmations or whatever. And then you pour water into the first cup to represent the now, and then you pour it into the other cup, and then you drink the other cup. So you're actually consuming of the new reality, right? The other parallel reality, if you will, and then letting the other one go, which is interesting because you're saying you saw yourself in multiple realities and wanted to jump into that or shift into that one.
Yeah, I really felt like I could steal it from her. The other version of myself.
Steal it from her?
Yeah.
It's funny you word it that way, but do you feel like since it's you, because I've thought about this concept in in what we just described. So you go into even a meditation, doesn't have to be psychedelics, doesn't have to be any kind of consumption, but where you find a version of you, if you will, the neural pathway version of you that functions in these ways easier than the current you does, right? So not stealing, but just seeing the frequency, seeing the pattern of that my other self's neural pathways, and then just taking that pattern onto myself and waking up with that pattern. So it's not stealing. It's I figured this out in another life in a sense, or even right now in another way. there's the light codes or the neural pattern, and then just receiving that new pattern, and then just wake up, and then shit's way easier. It's like, oh, it's fucking great. Didn't have to meditate and like change my habits for 30 days, and like you're just
instantaneously you got that information. I hadn't really equated to that at the time, that was really quite a possibility. I really, like I was saying, it felt like I would steal her experience, and she would then trade places with me. And that's just kind of how I observed it.
Well, maybe that's true too. I don't. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened. You just don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No. But that was just fun.
Maybe you're her. Maybe you're the other one.
Yeah. Maybe I am the other one. Maybe that did happen. I don't know.
She doesn't even know.
Who knows? Yeah. Yeah. But I've had other times where I've just definitely been in like psychedelic architectured space, different sounds that were in that space. I could. Go ahead.
The geometry was super interesting too. So done DMT a lot of times and other things where there's somewhat consistent geometries within every entheogen sphere, I guess. But this was very different. The geometry is very they described Zach as leaves, which I think is probably better than eyes, even though I guess they were eye shaped, but definitely wasn't eyes. Like on DMT, there's eyeballs a lot of times, like legit eyeballs in everything or on some grid. But these were like leaf shaped ovals, I guess, and they almost like had like an electric buzz around the outline of each. It was like this black and red outline. I was realizing this morning as I was thinking about it. And it was like this mesh net leafy grid of over everything. But it was like, that was the geometry, so it was totally different. And the next thing I knew, I was like, I guess I was back 20 feet back in my pants hallway. But there was geometry there that was unique. So something.
So rad.
Yeah.
And each one of these things, as you go along, it could be a year from now, you'll be like, oh, that makes total sense.
Oh, totally.
That's
why I love this shit, because like it just adds additional layers of perception and then experiences I don't have to figure out now, but at least it's a data set that I have available to me that I can use later when other shit comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super, super interesting, these plant medicines.
Well, then Bree said, so maybe I should try it again, because I've tried the ADX over and over with 0 results. Yeah, so we just did.
We got tons of comments.
So Zach just loaded up the dry leaf. I mean, that's what we did over and over again until, again, the time gets weird, and which is nice to get doing with other people, because then they can at least tell there's some kind of, if you're having some kind of experience or when things are shifting. I mean, I remember at one point it's taking in all the extra, try to hold it a little holder or longer. So like we had a big one, so we're hitting a lot of smoke and holding it in, and then it gets disorienting to the point where there's like almost always smoke in the bong, and you're supposed to keep hitting it, but you think you're going to cough or die from smoke because you swear you just hit it.
Yeah.
Then you're not sure if you hit it at all.
Yeah.
I did hit it? Okay. Yeah. It's weird, man. It's totally different. It's different than even like DMT, because you can hit it, and like it's not that you forgot that you hit it. People just get a little distracted with how intense it is, so they just don't hit. But like this one, I couldn't tell if I'd hit it 100 times or not once yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah. No, it is a very, very weird experience, for sure. I just always assumed it was because I jacked up my tolerance from other things. Brittany, I kind of...
Actually, right here, so Zach gets into reverse tolerance on salvia.
Salvia has reverse tolerance. It doesn't care how much drugs anyone has done. Yeah, and honestly, with a lot of the plant medicines, what I found, even with ayahuasca, like there was a guy that said, I am not going to drink tonight, but I'll take a sip to honor the medicine. And I swear, like within the moment he took that sip, he was like... gone, just gone, and it was just nothing.
I want those experiences. I want to show up and be like, hey, you want a bunch of acid too? Nah, I'll just have a tiny bit.
Yeah,
nice,
yeah. So like with the plant medicine, salvia also being one of them. But again, you just really have to hold that smoke in your lungs for long enough for that to ruminate.
Start saturating.
But yeah, like sometimes the littlest can, and different tolerances. I thought that too, like with ayahuasca when I first started, trying to drink it, that perhaps with my like alcohol usage that I had that had affected it a lot. And I just don't think that's the case with a lot of these plant medicines. It's you're getting what you're getting, and even if it's not like psychedelic, you're still physiologically taking that medicine and imbibing it, and reality can get pretty weird with its symbol sets if you're really staying aware. Have you found that?
You asked me a good question at the right time, because I just switched into transitioning to something else.
Oh,
you found that? I'm like,
no.
Wait, what? I found what?
No, go ahead. What were you transitioning into? Please share.
It's just now I'm itching to try it again. Well, we are over in Riverside, California, Brittany. Where you at? Come make a road trip. Be here a few more days.
Wait, Tiffany is in California?
No.
Oh, Brittany.
No, I said we're in California.
Oh, we're in California. Yeah. Brittany, you should make a trip down to California
she might
sure.
be in Texas, but that's only a couple states away.
Oh, well, there is a chance we might be having Texas on our radar as the next place we're going. We're looking at some farms out there. We were looking at getting a farm here in California, and we're kind of thinking we might be looking at Texas. So if you're there, we're just like maybe in the next 6 months or so, we'll be seeing you as well. That's only reason dry leaf works for me. I've never been able to blast off on a single hit of standard dry leaf. I just can't seem to take a big enough single hit with my little baby lungs. Oh, vendor, where do you buy dry leaf? Yes, sir. I don't need to put all of these up. Zach is awesome. Thank you, Zach, for keeping
Zach.
all of these comments going. The guy, yeah. Wow, he's saying all of this. I ate 1 to 1 grams of mushrooms the other night and got trapped in my bathroom. I don't understand dosage anymore. Or 1.1 grams. Yeah, he seriously, was the
mushroom. Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. All right.
Okay, well, Texas is closer than California.
Yeah,
so then we go to Texas. You can meet us there.
Definitely. Zach's experience the other night was quite did not look very comfortable. But as I said to most people, is when he takes the mushies, it just doesn't give him that same experience. I've always just had such a good, positive experience with it, but it kicks his ass. It kicks his ass. Yeah, he's laughing over there. Yeah, seriously. He's a trooper though. He comes back and he unwinds all the information, sees what it's saying. But yeah, he was definitely stuck in the bathroom there for a little while.
We're talking about too the doses too. If you do an in between dose, how that could just fuck things up because it just makes it uncomfortable. Stomach hurts. You're not getting the psycho. You're not getting into the realm or whatever where you can actually have more of a beneficial dynamics. You spend half the time fighting the emotional discomfort or the physical discomfort or the mental discomfort because there isn't enough of a bump to get you over those mental humps or loops or it makes for not fun nights so much. But there's always value in it. It's just not necessarily the most enjoyable way to get value out of something.
Yeah, no. Terrence McKenna calls those, the diddler dose. Don't waste your time on the diddler dose. Just 5 grams of dried mushrooms in a dark room.
Even too much be in between. So microdosing, which is obviously really beneficial,
microdosing.
or big. I mean, I can see the argument for that. I mean, and it's different for everybody because I like doing the 1 to 2 gram range.
Sure, yeah.
Because I know where that puts me, and I appreciate that dynamic and being in that place. But yeah, if it's in between, if you're 2 to 3 or 2 to 4, but not quite 5, it can just suck.
Yeah. I have not had when I was microdosing, I didn't even have to microdose. I could take a handful of them and still have the very same experience. It was just nope, this is what you're gonna get. But I say
weird, but that'd be nice if that's just how it was, right? You don't have to worry about doses. Your body literally will only receive or react to what it needs.
Yeah.
So you could take a handful, you could take 1 little gram, and it's you're getting the experience you're supposed to get.
Totally, my experience was with mushrooms was that, and now I've tried it a couple more times, and it's still a really pleasant experience for me. I'm just so appreciative to the medicine and how it helped me learn about my mind and to be the chemist of my body and raise my own serotonin levels to pull myself out of deep dark depressions. So you've microdosed mushrooms, and how long of a period of time did you microdose, and how long ago?
4 days on, 3 days off. That was a Paul Stamets protocol, so you don't build up a tolerance or something, just so you don't mess up your endorphins or I don't know, whatever that serotonin, whatever that is. Yep. But then I've done it a bunch of different ways, and I appreciate the way he recommended it because it was kind of the way I was doing it anyway. But using niacin also, because niacin is vitamin B3, and if it's a flushing kind, you want the flushing kind, otherwise it doesn't actually do what it's designed to do. So it moves blood to your peripheral nervous system. So then we're putting even just the lion's mane or some of the other supplemental mushrooms, which I think part of his protocol is the psychedelic mushrooms, a very small amount from 0.05, really small. It's not half a gram. I'm talking about half of a hundredth of a gram.
Yeah, it's very small.
Up to 0.3 at most, right? Which is to be way more for most people. Anyway, and then that plus niacin plus lion's mane or reishi or some of the others stacked together, so doing a stack.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways to do it, but that's why I was doing it 3 on, 3 off, or 4 off, and then did it for 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, or 4 off, 3 on, whatever it was. But I've done that at different times, and I'm excited to try microdosing Lucy and some of the other stuff as well. Yeah. Just because it's, again, it's not an overwhelming psychedelic experience, especially when it's micro. You can still go to work. You can still if you have any psychedelic reaction at all, it's usually manageable, you know, and makes your day that much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it definitely allows the navigation of, you know, even doing the shadow work, like to be much more of a pleasant experience and easier experience, so that you're not just trying so hard to get through it. It's like you have a friend that is there helping assist. Did you notice that?
With microdosing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess even maybe the friend being myself, I'm just not overwhelmed by like the psychedelic experience or the entheogens consciousness in my body, so I can actually be present with myself, work myself through the processes, and I guess it's like a therapeutic tool. So instead of going to therapy, the microdosing help elevating your level of awareness so you can kind of do your own therapy.
It felt very much like you're doing the work. That's totally what I experienced with it too. Like that voice going in was like my own voice, you know, it's a female voice with an accent, but it still was my own, you know. It's like, oh man, you should raise your serotonin up in here, you know. That is like pretty low, you know. Let's get that going.
Oh geez, the serotonin's pretty low in here. You should probably raise that up right now. Oh geez.
Guess they're from Fargo.
Oh geez. That's her spiritual entourage.
Yeah,
it's Fargo.
Totally. They're from Fargo. I've never even been to Fargo. It just is
apparently your ancestors did.
I know, seriously. Like it would be interesting to see the path of the mushroom, like how much it probably goes into Fargo for sure. So evidently Georgia is one of the states that I can not order salvia from. Oh my gosh, serious?
Oh, bummer.
Can you order the seeds? I'm just wondering if there's a difference there and maybe grow it. Also have a friend send them to you. So there's a lot of ways that we can figure that out for you. If you're really searching for it, this medicine will come. It will come to you, and it will come easy. It just flows in. So that is awesome. So many comments, Zach. Here's Zach trapped in the bathroom. Sophia. Hi, Sophia. Oh, you're back. Welcome. I love it. Every time I stood up from the toilet, I was immediately like, time to sit back down. That was fun. Poor guy. That's
how it was after salvia too. I tried to get up by the couch and it's like all the shit's all fucked up. It's trying to walk and it's like, nope, sitting back down.
Yeah, sitting back down. Totally. Oh man. Not to mention the entire bathroom is vibrating at about 1 million cycles a second and going from the size of a phone booth to the size of a stadium.
It was vibrating at 28 trillion times a second because it was the micro-universe bloop, according to some theories that I haven't figured out yet. But it's
perhaps. Yeah, he was like totally stripped his clothes off with all his sweat, so he was just in there
naked and sweating.
Yeah, naked and sweating and vibrating at 28 trillion times a second. He was really a badass. I mean, to navigate the realities that this is the thing when it comes to this kind of medicine, it is hard to do it all the time. You know, like when people liken it more to like drug usage, like you're not taking, like you can, but you. It's hard. It is hard to make a decision to keep going in and keep doing that work, because you are digging at deep, fundamental, universal levels of yourself and going through lifetimes of uncovering. And so it's a very fascinating thing, because it has a bad rap, like as it being drugs and stuff, but it's not. It's very much a medicine. Medicines out there. I will be very interested to see when it becomes legal and how that goes. But in California will be one of the first states, in Colorado for mushrooms in particular.
Yeah. There's a lot of counties that have been passing it, but as far as statewide, I don't think that's happened yet.
Yeah. So, what else, Aaron? So you had that.
Zach said 28 trillion sounds potentially accurate.
Yeah, 28 trillion. Potentially accurate. So many awesome comments. Yeah. Oh my God, Zach. One of the weirdest sounds I've ever. What was? Oh, I missed it.
It's up a little bit.
Oh, these weird, like pitch shifting, tightly syncopated, reversed pops. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Sounds are real weird in the psychedelic space that I've come back from. Yeah. Have you had a lot of sound in your psychedelic spaces?
Good question. Certain, so DMT, there's a lot of that honing in, maybe,
like
or the ringing,
the high E sound.
sounds.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, music and stuff on mushrooms are different things, but not necessarily audio hallucinations, I guess.
What about with the salvia? Did you hear any sound with salvia?
That's so funny. I don't think so. Come to think of it. I mean, I heard the sounds around me, I heard you guys' voices and stuff.
No.
Yeah, but not any additional outside.
I get real interesting sounds. Like I've heard it for generation, for lifetime,
Yeah.
I don't even know how, like a bazillion years.
Is that common for your psychedelic experiences to have more auditory encounters and then visual or mental or cognitive?
It just depends on the trip, really. But I definitely get a lot of sounds with the different experiences.
Yeah.
I don't really remember with the DMT. I mean, maybe the high-pitched ringing sound. But the salvia, I'll get this like E-I-E-I-E-I-E-I-E-I. I know. It's not E-I-E-I-E-I-O. But it's
I
like
don't know.
that.
It is salvia. It probably ends like that.
Yeah, it probably does, and it's like this total jokester.
As you crawl out of your farmer pants tunnel.
Yeah, totally. Oh, Zach, I love all these things you're sharing. Regrowing salvia, it is quite easy to grow even in a planter. Yeah, so even just getting those seeds, like it grows like weeds. Yeah, hi, Sophia. I'm down to grow it. Yeah, see, awesome. And I think
Brittany's good at growing cactuses, too.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Brittany. That's right. So it's right up your alley, like literally. So maybe your pants alley? I'm not sure.
Yeah, down the pants hallway to Brittany's cactus room.
Yeah. I've been calling in wild shrooms, and I'm going to find them when they want me to one of these days when I go foraging. Now, does shrooms grow in Texas? I'm not sure about that. Like
inside the house, probably.
Yeah, inside the house, you definitely can grow some mushrooms. There's a learning curve with it, but it is very easy. You could grow, in 3 days, I think like 6 months worth of the medicine. I mean, it grows so fast. So, all of this, like that's my dream. Like when we have the farm is to be able to have, all of the medicines
for sure.
available.
Why would that be somebody in the community, their hut, they don't grow food to eat. They just grow the medicines.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I would go ahead and hang out there a lot.
Yeah, seriously. Has anyone had psychedelic experience with smoking weed? Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about yours.
Okay, so psychedelic experience, how would you break that down? So for me, a psychedelic experience is a discernible distinction and shift of perspective.
Yeah.
So it's different than your normal average set point or whatever. So weed in general, I appreciate almost every time it to a different psychological perspective. It just adds layers. So it's like that's why I like the term relationship, coming to relationship with entheogens or that dynamic, because it's there's a familiarity, right? You know it's going to probably feel like to an extent, depending on the strain or the type or how much you smoked when you've smoked in a while. And then also, at least for me, also the feeling that comes with it. It's not just a feeling. Well, okay, CBDs and different things is more of a body high, and it's a feeling, which I certainly appreciate. But the cognitive, I hesitate to say high. I guess it's true, but the cognitive shift in perspective. Does it say moral? It's not like you're high or you're low or it's just a shift in perspective, which I appreciate. So, yeah, I guess for most time it is a psychedelic experience that I really appreciate. It's just a subtle shift that allows me to process myself, my own thoughts, in ways that seem more enjoyable, efficient, or productive.
Yeah. Weed is very fascinating. If you break down the word, marijuana is the illusion maker. So, it is something that literally can cause that psychedelic experience. That's what it does. It's the illusion maker. So
I've never smoked a joint and seen pink elephants in the room.
Yeah,
outside of my imagination.
I literally have.
Yeah,
I literally have.
Talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I was just slowly bringing weed back in my life because I had been going to AA for a really long time. I traveled to Peru, started working with plant medicines. I did have some psychedelic experience with weed when I first began smoking it again, but I was very apprehensive. So I would only take maybe 1 or 2 hits every so often before I started using it more regularly. But I literally had taken 1 hit of marijuana, and it was when I was helping this girl, and I've talked about her on the show. She was dying of the liver liver failure, and I took the 1 hit and literally went straight into a panic attack, went right upstairs. I thought I was going to come out both ends. I pass out on the floor, and I see the pink elephants from Dumbo. And I mean, it wasn't from Dumbo. It was the elephants of the drunk scene of Dumbo,
that's what you're saying.
where it was this outline of it. So I was watching this cartoon of it, and they're just relax. They were just trying to show me I was just working so hard and trying so hard, and they were just trying to get me to show that they're listening and they're here to help me. And so they were showing me these Dumbo drunk elephants. I mean, they weren't drunk, but they were just like that. It looked like that to me. And then the liver was cartoon-like again. The lungs, they first showed the lungs, and then I was like, no, it's a liver. And then they're like, we know. And then we're like trying to show you something.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to the liver, and then back to the lungs, filled it with water, and then they're like, now just sit back and enjoy the show. Once I got the message, going, oh, I get it, pneumonia. And then there was a star, and they're like, just go into the star. And then there was like quite more like cartoon-like experience once I went through this bright star. And then so I had that experience. Another one, I was in the jungle, and I had taken a hit again of marijuana, and I laid down in my tambo in my bed, and literally I saw my heart like be filled with like these bookcases. And it was showing me, like, not bookcases, like filing cabinets, and how beautiful and perfect I was at, like, filing every detail of absolutely everything of my life, like the absolute, like, getting it all stuck, but, like, all of the filing cabinets, and I had done such a perfect job, but you see, now there's no spots really for anyone to get in, and the illusion that I had created for myself was that there's maybe this little crack that maybe someone kind of snuck in, but never, like, it was just covered with it, and it was time to let that go. That I didn't need to be carrying all of that information, and it was very psychedelic because I'm inside of my heart seeing all of these files. I'm just walking around seeing them all over, but there's nowhere anyone could get in, and I couldn't get out either, to be able to speak my heart. And so to get rid of that was just such an important process. So yeah, I've had definitely super psychedelic experiences. Yeah,
awesome.
With that. Yeah, Brittany, good question.
So
Yeah, Jasmine, look for dead elms. Okay. Smoking, not eating. Yeah. How much do you eat? I don't know.
Depends on the day. Sometimes I have 3 meals a day. Sometimes I snack all day. Every day's different.
Yeah. I'm in Wild Mushroom Foraging Group in Facebook. If anyone wants to join, DM me.
Cool.
Oh, that's awesome. So, is there? That's what I didn't get. Is there psilocybin that is in Texas, Jasmine? Maybe it's coming up, but that is awesome. Also in Plant Herb Foraging Group. Oh
cool.
Gosh, so rad. I did. Have you gone mushroom hunting?
No, I'd like to.
Oh my gosh, you being up in Washington, you have chanterelles and
people tell me, I'm gonna take you to the grounds. I'm like, okay, let's go, and then they never take me, and I'm like, all right.
When we come up there, because if it's in October, it's like perfect time to go mushroom.
There are a bunch of them near Leavenworth and stuff out there too. Or is it more
Oh yeah.
Cool.
There's not so much on the other side of the mountains, which is Leavenworth. Like in the Seattle area, you have the psilocybin and stuff. There's not really on the other side of the mountains. Marcel, the mushrooms that have the pretty lines going down the side. What are those called? It will come to me.
Zebra mushrooms?
No.
Tiger stripe mushrooms?
No. It starts with an M. Morels?
That sounds familiar.
What? Morels? We went morel mushroom hunting, and it was funny. Like the day of that we got invited, in our camp there was a morel that just randomly grew right out from where we were sleeping. Cool. And I had never found one. I'm like, wow, this is an amazing mushroom. And next thing we know, our friend called and said, would you like to go morel hunting? And I was like, what? Yes. And so we went, and Zach ended up finding the largest patch. Like the guy who took us, who had been hunting his whole life and never found a patch so large as what we had found. It was so fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So fun. I highly recommend it. So,
Jasmine. Were those ones specifically edible or psychedelic?
Yeah, no, they're edible.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'd love to try different mushrooms.
Yeah.
Edible mushrooms.
Yeah, there's tons of edible mushrooms, but like you also have psychedelics on your side of the mountains there in Seattle. Yeah. Depends on if you are regularly consuming or if it's like a once a month dose pretty heavily. Also, body weight is a big deal anytime you are eating something. Yeah, that's absolutely true with tons of stuff. Herbal medicine is up my alley, but I'm still learning about it. And that's the process. It is. And you will continue to learn about it.
How come you don't know everything? There's only like 10 different kinds of herbs. I don't understand.
Oh, gosh.
There are like countless types of herbs. I mean, geez, let alone the alchemy of like cross-mixing them and everything. And that's probably a lot to always learn.
Yeah. You know, I wish that we had more access to if I'm sure the natives have it, but like in their tribal culture, but like down in like going through the Amazon, like getting taken on the first tour where you would go and they're like this tree right here helps with fever, and you put your hand on the tree, and the tree is absolutely cold. And it's weird in the Amazon jungle because it's just humid and warm. And to put your hand on this really cold tree, and this is what they use. And then they look down, and there's this spiky plant, and they're like, this is for impotence, you know. And so I mean, it was very funny.
You know, it's like they probably were really childlike about it. They're
Yeah.
like, tree cold.
Yeah.
Human get hot sometimes.
Yeah,
Take
Tarzan.
cold tree bark,
Yeah.
put on human, put in mouth.
Yeah.
It works.
Very basic.
Awesome.
Yeah. And honestly, you tap into it. Like I had shared, just I think in chat, like how I came upon the cure for Lyme disease.
Yeah.
And it was really this deep belief. And it comes back to the belief that if there's something in nature that can kill you, there's something in nature that can cure you.
Yeah.
And so I got a red dog, ended up getting sick with Lyme disease. And she was like on her way, like her spine had bowed. I mean, it was awful. Like Lyme disease really takes you. And so I'm just like sitting and meditating on it, doing the work. And then I'm starting to just research. What is it? What is it that can cure this? And I found this man who had done this research on the rhododendron. And that's actually the Washington State flower. I don't
we
know.
have a lot of those around here.
Yeah. And so here we are in Washington State, and the state flower itself is what the cure is.
Cool.
And so then it goes the process, and he has all the studies of what he had done, and mostly on animals, but also on humans. It expanded out, but it's the medicine world is very interesting when it comes to natural remedies. You know, they kind of try and silence that. So there's not as many case studies for humans as there are for animals when it comes to the Lyme disease.
Right.
But there are studies that show very much that humans have been cured with the use of the rhododendron. And so how do you then administer it?
Yeah.
You know, how do you take it? And they have these things called Leadum tablets that are compressed down, and they're they look like the little sugar pills, and you just do it based off of weight. And within less than a month, Red Dog was like 100%, 100%. The thing I found with diseases and treating them when it comes to humans, because I went on to treat, more with Lyme disease, those that were not cured are the ones that have been identified. I've identified with their disease. I've had it for 25 years, and now everything around me has it, and all these, it just becomes this identity, and a certain amount of attention is given. You have to be willing and want to be healed.
Yeah, totally.
And to let it go. And it's an interesting journey. But the Leadum tablets, great, and plant medicines are there. What? I sorry, we were just like.
Oh yeah, that's how it goes. Chat has their own conversations.
Oh, they do.
We just try to catch up.
Oh yeah. Okay. I don't have an accurate dose of eating marijuana. Most people who have done this to get to hallucinatory levels just eat a huge amount. Worst that's going to happen is just like a couple of hours of purge. Yeah. And again, purgative medicine isn't bad. So,
like even the other night, I had a little too much ketamine and spent a lot of time throwing up. But
Yeah.
when I'm in the middle of throwing up, whether it's just because I had too much, like again, I'm trying to get value out of a shitty experience, so I try to associate to trauma, like consciously.
Yeah.
And vomit that up too. I'm vomiting anyway, so.
Yeah, it's really. I have not tried the ketamine. I'm not like I don't know if I have a whole lot of interest in it. More like when I was doing the raver days, like the ketamine was available. K is what they called it,
Yeah.
and everyone that I ever talked to that was on it, and I was like candy flipping, so I had the ecstasy and the acid, and so I was having a grand old time. They're like, "Don't ever do this. I swear, promise me you won't ever do this," and I just like kind of.
I hate it when people do that. Like just in life, like I get why you're doing it, but like come on, man.
Yeah.
Like don't ruin someone else's experience about something forever because you had it back. Don't ever promise me you'll never.
Yeah,
like, come on.
I totally agree with that. I definitely would say that there was everyone I ever talked to about it until now. Like now, there's like ketamine clinics you can go to, and a lot of different access to that medicine.
Well, and imagine different ways of modalities of doing it too. So you're taking smaller doses. It's pure. You have different agendas when you're doing it, not just to get high and like dissociate or something.
Yeah. So very interesting. the thing that also led me to the jungle was learning how to just let things go.
Mm-hmm.
It's because like purging wasn't even on my radar. Like I had no
sure.
idea.
Yeah.
So it was like people would say, and I'm going to like AA and I'm doing the 12 steps and digging on myself trying to figure out these answers. And people were like, just let it go. Just let it go. Like it was like no
Right.
big deal, right?
Fuck you, just let it
Yeah,
go.
fuck you. How do you do that? Like how
I'm
do you
trying
do
to let it go.
that?
Do you see this book I have here and all the steps? I am letting it go.
All the stuff I've written out here. How do I actually just let it go?
How dare you tell me I just need to let it go?
Yeah, but what is that process? And so leading to the jungle was to let go and start to honor like our bodies, like burping and shitting and puking and sweating and all of these nose running, like all of these different things are our body's way of purging. I never thought about that, but you could go and take a good shit and then go, oh gosh, I feel so much lighter. I feel so much better. Why is that? And really that's because you just let go of a whole lot of stuffed
toxins
shit
and shit that's literally sitting in your colon,
literally
just
sitting there,
attracting all that negative energy. If you want to put it that way, that's true.
Yeah,
It's
but
what
if
sits
you
in our body.
and if you stuff your issues, they go into your tissues,
Right.
and they're just sitting there, and it's just that willingness to finally let it go, and that is definitely that process. So I was just thinking about it, like here in America, like I see people that just aren't breathing accurately, their face will blow up, or we're holding in our farts and all this kind of stuff, and literally we're just not letting that out, and it's our body's way of going, this is how you let go. This is one of the processes.
Right.
I mean, there's other psychological work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And especially when it's not just like, oh, I ate too much dairy, so now I'm really farty. That's true. But you just also get, you definitely don't want to hold that shit in.
But you could also eat dairy and not be farty,
Totally.
but you can then do it and then have it, and your body is like, ooh, and you use that maybe as the medicine to get
totally.
that stuff going, and that's why you
association with the subject.
Yeah. It's so funny. Oh man. Reality got chopped and screwed. Oh wait, what did Jasmine say? And the voices got really deep, and everything around me went into slow mo. Oh,
Okay.
you guys are having
On a quick note,
Yeah.
why don't I step out now, and then you can keep going as long as you want to go, and I'll try to connect with Layla and figure out we got burger stuff and get all that raised.
Yeah,
ready.
barbecue time.
Yeah, so we can
totally
have- we can
agree.
have
Oh,
food together.
jeez, it's 6:30.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll work on that. So you do this as long as you want to do it, and I'll get that going.
Thank you so much for coming over.
Yeah,
Thank you
this
so
is
much.
great. Love you too.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
And Salvi and more conversation. Tonight
Yeah.
at 8 on Podcast Expand Understanding and ISN with Aaron Kesseler and Zach Mortimer.
And Zach Mortimer.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, bye, guys.
All right, bye, Aaron. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I just love this journey that we're all sharing together. Aaron is one special dude. If you haven't, well, we can all tell that.
Super
Come on.
special dude.
Super eyes. He was just turning his mic. And, oh gosh, that is awesome. Okay, reality got chopped and screwed. I'm gonna keep reading these comments. LOL for real, Zach. I was gonna say the phrase, but wasn't sure anyone would get the reference. I think I'm missing this. Dead Elms was in reference to finding mushrooms. Yeah, I missed a bunch of your chat, you guys. Morels, yeah. That was totally what it was. Rad mushroom. It's so yummy. I highly recommend a bunch of different mushrooms to try. Some have said they foraged psilocybin in San Antonio. Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's really, really cool. So, call the medicine. Medicine will find you. I'm not sure about this time of year for psilocybin when it comes to San Antonio, more of probably maybe the rainy season. But, yeah, I've definitely gone foraging for the psilocybin mushrooms, and that is a very fun journey. All the mushrooms are a fun journey, like whether it's psilocybin or not, is really, really rad. I'm so glad we share that experience. And you even more. Like, definitely it sounds like you have way more experience with foraging mushrooms than I do. I just have a handful, but it is so much fun. Yeah, Jasmine, how do you know all that stuff? Yeah, all of it. All of it. Oh, Zach, you're silly. LOL, I'm nincompoop when it comes to plants. I thought I don't even know. Nincompoops make it seem like you're cute, man. I don't know. I wouldn't use nincompoop. Tree cold me got hot sometimes. Okay, Zach. Silly. I'm not a fan of K. Oh yeah, Brittany. Like, yeah, that's an interesting one. Like, I didn't try it. Like I said, Kitty is mean. Interesting. Yeah, that's like a lot of people I talk to have had that experience. It's kind of like ketamine and iboga. are a couple of the medicines that I just don't know if I'll try in this lifetime. If it's called to me and however that goes, I'm open to listening to the messages that are there. But again, just sitting with that. I'm not a fan of Molly either. I've not tried Molly, but I did do ecstasy. I know there's a difference between the two. The thing I'm not so much a fan of when it comes to the chemicals, just in general, even with acid, I can feel the chemical in my body. And I feel like I need to recover my body after I've taken in the chemicals. So it's like more energy needs to be expended when I take that in, as opposed to with the plant medicines. I don't really have that experience. It was like I was that medicine. And so, yeah, with the chemicals, it's very interesting. I have recently, sassafras? I think that's what they called it. Something along those lines that was similar to, the ecstasy. But again, like afterwards, it's still like getting that body and taking like the supplements and 5-HTP and all the things to raise my body back up. Yeah, I love the answers that I get. Every medicine that I've taken has been a great journey for me, and decisions that I made. Definitely don't regret it, but there's just like an aspect to it that I definitely err more on the plant medicine side. But when the medicines do come, I am listening, and I will imbibe if I feel that I am going to benefit from that. Too much K and it puts the hole in you instead of you going into the hole. Okay, the K hole. Okay, I took ketamine at Bonnaroo and missed the entire Tool concert from my back in a K hole. Never ever again. Yeah, Brittany, that was like what I was saying. Like anyone that I would run into, and we're all having the grand old experiences, and I didn't try it, but that was kind of the reports that I would always get. I mean, even Aaron like talks about it in the sense that like he went through the uncomfortable experience and then he learned this stuff. So very fascinating. Eesh, that's an unfortunate miss. Yeah, Tool. Also, Brittany, I don't know if you heard, I think I put this in the comments because I think you love Tool. Are you the one with the Tool tattoos? That Trent Reznor went to my high school at Meadowdale High School. So I was a big Tool fan, just based off of that. Yeah, acid, I've had really great experiences. The only thing I would say afterwards, I can sense the chemical and I have some clearing. Not as much as I would say, with the clearing as I would with ecstasy, or I didn't do Molly, but what I would imagine would be with that. So a lot. Yeah, you like acid a lot. Awesome. So, gosh, you guys, I think this has been quite an awesome episode. I definitely want to do always just like some semblance of a little bit of a meditation with you guys. I love the entangling process and also the healing process that we're all sharing. All the information that we brought on the medicine, because a lot of the theme of the show that I wanted to start with was, Aaron's direct experience with Kambo and getting that information to you right away on teaching you about the experience is perhaps doing like a short meditation on syncing to the frog medicine. Right here. Oh, Trent Reznor was 9 Inch Nails. Oh my gosh, you're totally right. It was. But I love Tool as well. I'm telling you, Tool is fantastic. You're right. It was 9 Inch Nails. Anyway, I love 9 Inch Nails too, both of them. Thank you for being who. Well, it doesn't matter. I probably wouldn't even remember the lead singer, even if you told me after. I'm not so savvy with the celebrities and all that kind of stuff, but I do enjoy the music that has been offered out there that resonates. Rivet. Yeah. So let's kind of do this because Zach brought the animal medicine book to me. I'm going to relook up the frog, and I'm going to just read you a bit about the frog so that you can have, like, Maynard. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, it's been, like, so long since I, like, really, well, not necessarily Tool. Yeah, Maynard. That's awesome. Yeah, I do remember that now. Okay, all right. So I'm going to read the frog medicine. It's for cleansing. And so it's sing, frog, sing, call the rains, quench the dryness, cleanse the earth, then fill me up again. And it says, frog sings the songs that bring the rain and make the road dirt more bearable. Frog medicine is akin to water energy and the east on the medicine wheel. Oh, see, the east, that is like super powerful because that's where the sun rises. Sleeping with your head facing to the east. I highly recommend. I don't know where the angles of your beds are, guys, but if you can turn it around, if it's not possible in the space, like in my space, in the way we're set up, I place myself where in my mind's eye, turning my body so that my head is facing that way before I go to bed all the time. So Frog teaches us to honor the tears, for they cleanse the soul. All water rites belong to Frog, including all initiations by water. That is some powerful stuff. Seriously. Water prepares and cleanses the body for sacred ceremony. It is the element we understand best in the womb. Frog, like ourselves, is a polywog in the fetal waters and only learns to hop after it experiences the world of fluidity. Again, like the frog and the salamander, I'm thinking about, like when we are a fetus in the womb, we are going through the same thing. We have a tail, we have the metamorphosis, just like the frog inside that womb. The transformation into adulthood prepares Frog for its power to call in the waters of the skies, the rain. In knowing the element of water, Frog can sing the song that calls the rain to the earth. When the ponds are dry, Frog calls upon the thunder beings to cleanse and replenish the earth with water. Like Frog, we are asked to know when it is time to refresh purify and refill the coffers of the soul. If Frog hopped into the cards you chose today, its ribbit may be calling in the cleansing you need. If you were to look at where you are today, would you use any of the following words to describe your condition? Tired, overloaded, harried, frustrated, guilty, itchy, nervous, at a loss, empty, or weakened? If so, take a break and allow yourself to breathe in the waters of frog medicine. This could mean a long, relaxing bath, disconnecting the phone, yelling stop, or taking in deep cleansing breaths. The key thought is to find a way to rid yourself of distractions and to replace the mud with clear energy. Then replenish your parched spirit, body, and mind. An ability of frog medicine people is to give support and energy where it is needed. A frog medicine person can clean negativity from any environment. Many mediums or clairvoyants who work with cleansing haunted houses carry frog medicine. Many of the world's seers use water in their hands when tapping into other realms of reality due to water's superconductive nature. In Mayan and Aztec shamanistic and also Shipibo practices, the shaman places water in his or her mouth. Oh, wait, I can't say that for the Shipibo. Places water in his or her mouth and sprays it over the body of a patient to clear away negative energy. I could say actually the Shipibo do that, but they use rose water. So, yes, they also do that. This is done while holding the thought of frog firmly in the mind so that healing may occur and the patient may be replenished with positive energy. Sometimes dried and stuffed frogs are also used to guard the person's body during the session. Frog speaks of new life and harmony through its rain song. The deep tones of Frog's ribbit are said to be a call to the thunder beings. Thunder, lightning, and rain. The ribbit is a heartbeat that comes into harmony with Father Sky and calls for the replenishment needed. Call to Frog and find peace in the joy of taking time to give to yourself. A part of this giving is cleansing yourself of any person, place, or thing that does not contribute to your new state of serenity and replenishment. So, my Animal Speak book says the same points that Animal Cards book says. Yes. Mine says, are you waterlogged? LOL. Yeah. Girl, are you young either? You can blame age now. So, okay, guys. So with all of that information that we just read about the frog, what I would like to have happen is for you to tap your wires from the crown chakra, so from the top of your head, and take that clear crystalline light, but a watery clear crystal light, and connect it in with the frog, syncing your heart and your spirit, taking in the information of whatever it needs to bring to you, to bring answers, to teach you the process of healing, the beautiful emotional watery realms. And with that, breathing in through your nose, that same crystalline watery light, bringing it down into your solar plexus and all the way to the bottom of the solar plexus, and then circle that around within your body, and then exhale all of the negative energy, sloughing it off down through the roots of your feet, again sinking that into the waters of the earth and also the structures of the earth. And with that, just constantly take your waters, begin to helix it like DNA, tapping into the frog medicine, allowing the information that frog would like to share with you, breathing it in deep into the solar plexus, circling that information around, and then allowing the sloughing off of the energy into the waters of the earth. And with that, I say breathe. With that, I'm going to play my flute while you imagine the connection and see what comes to you. So we will begin. Breathe in, circle it around, and slough it off. Gradually come back to center and open your eyes. take a deep breath in through your nose or through your mouth, whatever comes naturally to you now, and just experience what you're sensing. If any of you would like to share your experiences here or write to me later about your experiences with the frog, I have much connection through my own experiences, which I did not go into much. I would very much just love to hear yours and to see what is called in upon for the rest of your day, just being aware and taking time to just meditate continually on the frog. It has very powerful medicine, and as we talked about, we are all beautifully entangled with one another. I love each and every one of you so very much. I am so grateful to be able to be here with this experience and have you guys show up and just be part of this. It's a beautiful journey that we get to have with one another and share our ribbits. I definitely felt a ribbit. I would, like I said, anything that you would like to share, if you would like to just send me a message, share your personal experiences, that would be wonderful. I love each and every one of you guys. I have a bunch of beautiful people that are waiting on me to come and help begin feeding them delicious food and share in the beautiful community that we are creating. And I love you, and I'm giving you a great big hug. If you want to take a moment and just wrap your arms around yourself, take a few breaths. I have an abundance of energy free flowing to you now. My green, beautiful light, my love beam from my heart is beaming into each and every one of you in this moment, with all the information that I have learned on how to not just self-love, but to love in general. And I hope each and every one of you have the most beyond outstanding day. And I hope to be able to see you here in a little bit for Zach and Aaron's show. It should be rad like it is always. And you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Love you.